You've read the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Frutiger Aero is about to make a return that'll be responsible for the next years ahead of graphic design. In the early 2010s, companies started adopting a flat design language, something that was completely opposite from previous overly detailed styles, and gave a breath of fresh air into the world in technology. It was easy to produce due to lower artistic detail. The main beginning of this was Windows 8.1. Although Apple followed suit in their iOS 7 update, getting rid of skeuomorphism and completely adding a flat design. Throughout the 2010s, this became the prominent art style for businesses, companies, etc. Although something happened in the coming of 2020s that changed everything. Companies, logos, brands, iconic identities were shattered with the upcoming of oversimplification. During the period of the early 2020s, multiple companies started using flat, simple logos like Pringles, BMW, etc. People were outraged. Their favourite recognisable logos were shattered and changed for a new, simple look. It had nearly been 10 years since Windows 8 was released and people were getting sick of the constant simplistic look in their lives. Over time, more and more companies would follow suit, which followed the deepest part of the oversimplification trend. Blob-style people. Companies, apps, and even Minecraft skins followed this. Small people, no expressions, and lots of rounded squares for some reason. It just seemed to be nice in the corporate business. An example of this would be Duolingo, an app who I used to support a lot, although due to it being a buggy mess and dropping real people for AI, I do not support it. The art style features simple recognisable characters, which, as I hate to admit it, incorporates the art style well, good expression, shows personality, and a much better upgrade from previous avatars from them. Although, after a while, they did not change the animations, expressions, and tried to cover it up with memes, Duolingo, a language learning app, tried to develop a fan base with recognition in the characters and art style, a funny social media page, and dumped it off from AI. Although I'm running from the main point, because Duolingo did this so well, all the other companies that used the flat art style made it look bad. Don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Duolingo as a company, it's just a prime example in this flat art style. They did a good job incorporating the flat art style, although so many other companies were using it, and it just didn't stand out enough. Nintendo was recently in lots of heat with the release of the Switch 2, and players wanted a playful and new UI in relation to the Wii U or Wii. Nintendo kept it safe and stayed with the exact same style as the original Switch OS and just added rounded corners to everything. For God's sake, even the 3DS had themes. We see here with all the lack of actual consumerism in the console, it actually just becomes much more of a standing point in negative emotion to the console. In early 2024, people started remembering Frutiger Aero, a style of mixture of old images and the Aqua and Aero themes for macOS and Windows respectively. It was very surreal, although it featured water-incorporated scenarios on land, like flying fish, water droplets, bubbles in city or video game-like areas. It was very glossy. If you want to learn actually on the themes itself, I'd recommend watching Nation Squid's video on it. Although there's one company in recent times that is major enough that did a major design change, and I think it's pretty unexpected. SanDisk. 6 months ago, SanDisk redesigned their logo for a more pointy, futuristic look. People were so happy with them actually listening to the people who wanted difference. I feel like this was the beginning of the end of the flat art style, while giving the logo a modern look. The top comment of the reveal trailer redesign states, "You know it's a good redesign when you look it up," which is very true. Coming from the old, outdated SanDisk logo, it looks like a mixture of the futuristic elements from the 2000s and the flat design from recent years. Now I know you're predicting what I'm going to say here. Apple has released liquid glass in the new iOS 26, which is a complete redesigned look for all Apple products to align more with the Vision Pro style. Many people have given it backlash for hard visibility, but I believe this is the true beginning for a new design type. I downloaded the beta the day of typing the script, and it's my favourite phone OS ever, full stop. The blended glass, the transparent icons, it feels like we are really getting the future we were promised. But this is just the beginning. As Apple releases that, everyone will follow. For example, when they stopped including the charger in the box, everyone followed. When they dropped the headphone jack, everyone followed. And I feel like it'll be the same for the new glass style. For Google, they might take a more bubbly approach like the original Frutiger Aero due to lots of circular and playful icons in the Pixel OS. For Samsung, I feel like they'll take the same approach as Apple and make it like glass or water without looking old-fashioned. I feel like this is really the closest we will get to Frutiger Aero, a futuristic time with water and glass-like elements littered all across tech in our lives. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different to my usual style, although I put lots of effort even in the thumbnail, title and script. If you could, I would really appreciate if you subbed. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I'm making a fully modular phone from a concept from 2011, and if you want to see videos on that, I have loads of YouTube shorts of it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.